Hi guys and welcome back here to the Dev Realm, and today we carry on our RPG MMO framework series. And what we did on the last episode, we have done something very exciting. We have managed to create and validate our character save. And what I would like to do here today is that when you press play and when you press save here, right? When you save the game, when you type a valid character name and you press save, first of all, saves all the data and reloads the page. Sorry, it sends you to a different page where is the main menu. Right, so let's first create the main menu page. All right, so the main menu page, I'm going to close everything because we are pretty much done with this for now. We're going to right click here. And actually, I'm going to just right click. I'm going to create a basic scene. And the way I did this is by holding Control N on your keyboard, or you can just right click and press level. The only reason why I don't like to do that on the level, it's because it gives me a blank universe, like a blank level, but everything fade black. So I'm just gonna do Control N here. I'm gonna create a new level, and here I am gonna call this. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna hold Control S. Levels, and I'm gonna call this main menu. All right, we're gonna have a login screen as well, but right now if you press play, you should have like a blank well, we should have just a blank character. We have one here because it's the default one, but we're gonna create here now another game mode, right? And the game mode that we're gonna create here right now is the main menu game mode. All right, which is a mode where you're not able to move, you're not able to do anything, you're just standing still, playing around with the menu, right? So to do that, the first thing I want to do here is that we're going to go back to main, going to go back to blueprints, and we're going to have to game modes. So we have character creation, we have main gameplay. I'm going to right click, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this main menu. And now we're gonna do the same things we already done before, which is we're gonna go back to blueprints. We're gonna create a game mode called BP main menu. We are gonna create here a new character player controller called BP main menu controller, right? And the next thing we're gonna do here is also create a character poem. Can be possessed, but yeah, this one. We're gonna create a poem, right? And I'm just gonna call this BP player main menu, right? Now I'm gonna open up my game mode, and now I'm gonna set up a couple of things. First of all is the controller. Second of all is the main player poem, right? And now if I press play here, still gonna have the the wrong character, but that's because we need to, let me just close this, go to our world settings, and I'm gonna get this and bring it right there. All right, now I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna press play. Now we shouldn't have anything, which is great. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is that I am going to create a classic game menu, which is basically, the idea here is that we're going to keep it simple, but look good as well. We want to make sure it looks good. So I want to create a square menu with a list where I have the player name, and you're going to select on it, and you're going to press play. Or if you select on it, you already press play. I haven't decided that yet, but where you're going to be able to edit, you're going to be able to play, you're going to be able to do all sorts of things. All right. So without wasting too much time, what we're going to do here is that we are going to right click. We're going to create here a widget user interface. We're going to call this WBP main menu. All right. Oh, I just mistyped that menu. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that open up your player controller. Then on your player controller, I'm just gonna do that thing where we set mouse, yeah, this one, set show mouse cursor, because I want to be able to see and interact with the mouse. All right, that's good. Now that you have created the controller here, let's open up our UI. Let's create here a canvas, right? Easy canvas. Now we drop the canvas. Now I would like to see that you guys remember that we downloaded some UI assets from itch.io, and let's see if we can find anything that relates to a list for us, right? So I'm gonna go back here to, I'm gonna just open up a new folder here. I'm gonna go back to my downloads where we created that Chunga one. Oh no, that's the font, sorry. Here, so right, PNG. Right, now we have here counter, which is not really something. Does it have anything that we want to use? Probably not. Right, let's see if we could maybe use the level. Do they have anything here that we can use on the level? To be honest, I would be very happy to use this, but the problem is that it loses quality a little bit. So let's just skip that for now. Load, I like that. But that's just, I mean, all right. We can display the character name here, and then we can maybe use some kind of a checkbox to load our, let me just double check here on the buttons. Let's see what kind of different buttons do they have, because they have a, that's just button, and then I have buttons. And then we have rectangular. Okay, let's have a look. What is this one? So that's just OK button. And then we have a default, and we have play text. Anyway, so I think we're just gonna make it easy. We're gonna keep it simple, right? I'm gonna probably use just what we have here on the engine, because I don't see anything useful that we can use that looks gonna look amazing, right? So, but without wasting too much time, we created a widget, and let's start to scope out this thing. So what I want to do here is that I want to have so let's open up here Paint a little bit, just to display what is my goal here. My goal is to create a box in the middle of the screen, not that, like a box like this, and I want to create list 1, list 2, list 3. If I click on this list here, I have a button here saying play, and I have another button here saying edit, something like that. Or I could just leave those the button edit and delete here, and then, but I haven't decided yet. Let's find out on the fly. So the first thing you need here, it's a vertical box, right? Vertical box. We're gonna edit the vertical box here. I don't know about the size, don't worry about this stuff yet. Let's just worry about the UI first. Now that I have a vertical box, I need to add here, maybe we need to add text, or in this case, a horizontal box. We're gonna add a horizontal box within a vertical box, and then I'm gonna find for a text. I'm gonna look for text. Nice. So this text represents my player or my save game. In this case, Mario, right? Or Mario JGT, my username for pretty much everything. Now, what I have to do with that, I just need to compile and save this stuff. And I'm gonna put this on the middle. That's not working because this box also needs to be in the middle, and you need to make sure you fill auto, but yeah, that's fine. And the box, yeah, that's okay. Now, what I would like to do here is that I want to add, first of all, let's just make sure that we add the right font. So let's search for the font. Let's add the font that we added. The size is good. Outline is gonna be also very good. And the outline or size, it's gonna be like 1. And now we can basically wrap this whole thing here with a border, because I want to make sure it looks a little bit better. And the border, I'm just gonna do like classic black. Oh, not that. I want to change the tint. It's gonna be like a classic black color, something like that. I'm gonna make sure that the opacity of this border, where is it? The tint, the opacity, it's visible, like that. This, I'm just gonna change maybe that to everything that I do here is not gonna look great. So I'm just gonna make sure everything's black. It's because I don't have a proper design for this, but that's fine. Now on the selection here, I'm gonna change the color of that to that, just for something that's not completely, you know, like black. Yeah, black. All right, now we can add a couple of buttons in here. And the first one we're gonna add here, let's search for the button BTN or WBP. We have a normal button, we have a section control. I'm just gonna bring the normal button here. And we're gonna have a couple of options here. So we're gonna have normal, that, and maybe delete. All right. I'm gonna do this in the most simple way. So I'm gonna have a play. I'm gonna have a edit. And I'm gonna have a delete. All right. Then later on, you guys can probably change this however you want. But right now, we're just gonna keep it like that. So here, we're gonna call play. Here, we're gonna call edit. And here, we're gonna call delete. For the delete, I'll probably see, can I put it red? Yeah, I can leave it red. Like a slightly reddish color. And then this one, I'm just gonna maybe put blue, something. I don't know. It doesn't look great at the moment, but it will do for now. All right. Now the padding. What if I add 10? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add 10 of padding for everyone. 10. I'm gonna do it like that. Compile and save this stuff, and there we go. And on the button here, on the bottom of this page, maybe we can add another one, BTN. I'm just gonna put this button here. And I am gonna anchor this button right on the center here. I'm gonna put 0.5 or 1, 0.5, 0.5, and I'm gonna put 1. And I'm gonna change this button to call create, or just maybe new character, right? Just gonna increase the size of that a little bit just to look a little bit nicer. There we go. So we're gonna put it here. Once again, guys, I don't have like a very nice UI, but I'm just trying to work out the best, just to look nice to play, right? You guys have absolutely freedom to change this however you like. I'm just doing something here because I want to just get a nice UI at the end of this. I don't want everything to look horrible and, you know, with the default design, which is not really great. Now I'm gonna put this 1. I'm gonna put this actually 0.5. I'm gonna put this to 1. And now I'm gonna add the position to go, I'm gonna put 0 and the Y position maybe 200 or minus 200. There we go. I just wanna make sure this is on the center of the page. Now if I press play, I won't be able to see this because we need to tell the engine to add the assets, all right? We need to do that thing that we did for before. Now what we're gonna do here, for this one, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to create a component to do this stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to my player controller. And when we start this, we're going to create a widget. Create a widget. I'm going to add my widget class here. From that. And now I can add to the viewport. All right. Now, before I add it to the viewport, I just want to make sure that I promote it to a variable called player main menu widget, or I'm just going to rename to main menu widget ref. Plug it right there. Plug this one here. Plug it here. Great. Now, if I press play, I should be able now to see our main menu loaded. And that's pretty much how it's gonna look like, all right? Which, you know, it's functional. Maybe we could do some kind of animation here, but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. It's not, let's say, the best, but the UI, it's functional. You know what you guys could do here, you know, if you really, let's say, a good practice for your game, a good way of, let's say, managing your MMO, is always make sure you put the version on the left or right corner, up to you. And that's what we're going to be doing right now. So before we start to implement the loading system, let's start to create here the version control for your game, right? So you guys remember that we have created a global function here called BPGL MMO framework, right? Now I am going to duplicate this first function here, and I am going to call this, instead of get save prefix, get game version. And the version that we are going to use here is just 1.0.0. So every time you ship your game, make sure you update this, or you can make it in a way where it's controlled by your server. So your server, every time your server updates, also send the game version because there's being update. Right. So on our main game here, all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this title and I'm gonna paste it outside here. I'm gonna align that to the center, to the bottom of my page. And here I'm gonna put 1 or 0.511 or 0. Yeah, 0. Great. Nice. I'm gonna leave it that one right here. I'm gonna compile and save this stuff. And look how cool is this now. I'm gonna make sure this is a variable. I'm gonna go back to the user graph, and on the pre-construct, I'm gonna call that function BPGL, and where is it? FNGL, there you go. Get game version. And then now we can get this text block. Is that called the text block? Yes, I'm just gonna rename to game version. Game version, right? I'm gonna bring it right down. I'm gonna call set text. Plug it right there. And now I am gonna put this prefix here. Oh, sorry, that's the, yeah, that's fine. We just need to change this to game version, just so it doesn't get confused, or just version, whatever is up to you. Now if I press play, I should have the right number right here. All right, so now we know that next time if we update anything, we have a different version on the game. Right, now that we did this, it's not required that you do that, it's just that it's nice to have. We are now need to load out our save player game here. So before I finish this lesson, I just want to make sure that I create a component and I hooked up the play, edit, and delete button. We're also going to create a UI model confirmation page saying, oh, are you sure you want to delete this character? This is going to have consequentials, blah, 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 blah. And that's what we're going to do here, right? But before we do all that stuff, let's just make sure we created a list component for our game. All right. Now to do that, I am just gonna go back here to our to our widgets. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna create here widgets folder. I'm gonna drag and drop this one right there. And now on the widget, I'm gonna right click and create a component. And one thing here, guys, that's very important to remember is that if you want to create a widget that's going to be used only on this part of the game, make sure you put them together. If you're going to create something that's going to be used globally, like the buttons, for example, then you can create like a global widgets folder and then you reuse that. But the important is that you get the idea of reusing stuff. Don't copy and paste just because it's easy now. It's going to be a nightmare in the future. And trust me, I've been through many projects and it's a problem. Right, now on the components, I'm going to right click. I'm going to create a new user interface. I'm going to search here for, I'm going to call this WBP, and I'm going to call this character list. All right. And now all you got to do, open up. Let's do that trick that we learned, which is basically we're going to go back to our main menu. We're going to select this, the border. We're going to right click, we're going to press copy, go back to here, press paste, and there we go. Nice. Now I'm going to put this custom on screen, or sorry, not custom on screen, desired. And there we go. I'm going to compile and save this stuff. Now, what we're going to do here is that on our main widget, I'm just going to delete them. And I am going to search for that WBP character list. I'm going to drag and drop. And now I can just edit another one, press play, for example. And here we go. Now, one thing I notice is that I would like to leave the buttons on the left and the name on the right. Sorry, the other way around. Name on the left, buttons on the right. To do this, super easy. We're just going to select all those buttons in here. We are going to wrap them with a horizontal box. Nothing going to happen. It's just that we need some spacing. I'm going to add some padding between them of 10. And this, I'm going to make sure they're always aligned to the right. And the padding here can be 0. And the name, we'll make sure that we always align to the left. Now that should reflect our change on our UI. It doesn't. Let's have a look here, maybe what we have to change here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go back to our custom. Maybe let's put 200 by 200. And now let's just leave on 100. I'm going to leave this on 800, right? What I want to do here is that I want to make sure they are center. They are actually fill. Yeah, fill up. But this, there we go. That you need to, I see, you need to put a fill there. So the things I always forget about Unreal Engine is that you have controls and size inside and all that stuff. Now on the horizontal box, delete button, maybe we can just select all of those, maybe press the option fill, just to make sure that they don't overflow. Aha, it looks way better. The colors, they are not really great, but we can always change how those buttons looks anyway. And as you can see, we have the list. I would love to make it rounded edges, but I don't have the asset to do that. All right, guys, so this is pretty much what I wanted to do for this lesson. And in the next one, we're going to create the 3 events from this component, and we're going to implement the logic where we load the save system with all the names you have created. And also one thing we have to do is that every time you press a new character, we need to get which one is your save slot plus 1. and then you know that you can create up to 10 characters and you never messed up the same character. All right. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I see you guys in the next one.